Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about how the earth was formed. So you might be wondering how the earth was formed and when it was formed. So today we are going to discuss about this. So let's move on. So what happened about 4.5 billion years ago? Then earth was formed from a giant spinning cloud of dust and gas left over from the sun's creation. Gravity pulled these materials together, forming a hot, molten ball. Over millions of years, it cooled to form a solid crust, while volcanoes and icy comets helped create the atmosphere and oceans. So, friends, what happened actually? There was a cloud of dust, okay, and it was spinning, right? And it was actually a leftover from sun. It was sun's part, right? And then it started rotating, and then the gravity pulled these materials together to form a hot molten ball. So that cloud of dust, so it was very hot. It was a hot ball which was spinning and rotating, okay. And then over millions of years it cooled, okay, and then it formed into a solid crust. Earlier it was a gaseous ball, later it solidified. And then while volcanoes and icy comets helped create the atmosphere and oceans, so volcanoes occurred over the earth's surface, and then icy comets also collided with the earth, and then these all led to the creation of oceans and the atmosphere around the earth. And eventually the earth today we see was formed like this. So did you understand, children? Gravity plays a major role, right? As well as the activities such as volcanoes, earthquake, okay, the plate tectonic movements, these all things takes place, and then these all creates the land and water, that is the oceanic part or the land surface of the earth. So here's the story in detail of how the earth was formed. Firstly, a spinning cloud. Long ago, a huge cloud of dust and gas, as we all discussed earlier, okay, it was called solar nebula. Okay, it began to spin and flatten with the sun forming at its center. So, as you can see in the first image, okay, there was a sun in the center, and then this cloud of dust, it was rotating around the sun, all right. So all the things that those dust and all right, they all came together because of the pull of gravity, all right. And then they all that cloud of dust, it started rotating around the sun. And then second, space rocks colliding. The leftover dust and rocks in the disk smashed together to form larger pieces, and eventually growing into our planet. All right, because of the gravity's pull, the dust particles they all came together. All right, and then a hot ball of lava. At first, the Earth was not a nice place to live. Obviously, it was a hot gaseous ball, right? It was not even solid. And then later on, when it solidified, but it was still hotter. But then eventually it started cooling. It was a scorching melted ball of rock with volcanoes covering its surface. That time volcanoes were continuously occurring on its surface. Later on, because of icy comets and all, it started cooling down, and eventually it became a place for the suitable for the survival of living beings such as trees, and then other living organisms such as human beings or animals, etc. So from this you can understand that the other planets are not suitable for living beings, right? They are very hot or they are very cool. We will discuss in other upcoming video where we will discuss about why the other planets are not suitable for living organisms. So friends, this is all what makes the earth different from other planets and suitable for the living beings. Okay, now, so let me tell you in detail cooling down process. As the planet cooled, the outer layer hardened into a solid crust. So friends, you might have understood that when it was hot, the earth was hot, it was in gaseous form. But as soon as it started cooling, the outer layer started to solidify. Alright, and then it turned into a solid crust where we all are living right now. the land surface. Then water and oceans. How did the ocean and water bodies formed? Actually, you all know the water cycle process, right? Where the because of the sun's heat, the water bodies get heated, and then the water vapors go up, and then they form a cloud. And when those cloud become heavy, they downpour the rainfall, right? And then this process happened because of the volcanoes and the icy comets. So it rained heavily for years, and those um, means it took a lot of years to form the oceans. It did not happen in a few years. It took a lot of years. That time continuously some activities were taking place, like these icy comets colliding, and then the volcanic eruptions, and all these were very common that time. These all processes, the plates movement and all these all processes led to the formation of lithosphere, that is the solid crust part of the earth and the water bodies. So yes friends, so now here from the images can you see that earlier when the Earth's all the landmass was together. The huge landmass part of the Earth was called Pangaea, and the water body uh, together it was called Panthalassa. All right, but then the plate tectonic movements happened, earthquake, volcanoes, such things happened, and then the Pangaea was broken, and then these parts moved. These broken parts they moved leftwards and upwards because of these movements, and that's why these continents were formed. All right, and then later on we gave them different names. All right, also we gave different names to those water bodies also, like Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, or whatever oceans we see today, that was whole together. That time it was called Panthalassa, and then the land portion was called Pangaea. All right, land portion, the landmass, the huge landmass on the earth, it was called Pangaea, and then the huge water body that time was called Panthalassa. All right, friends, I hope it was clear how the earth was formed, how these different movements on the earth took place, how today's continents took, emerged, how they emerged, how different water bodies occurred. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any queries or doubts, you can comment in the comment box. Also, if you have any suggestions or feedback, please you can give. Also, if you like, please share it to your friends. Do not forget to like and subscribe my video. Thank you so much.